Very good questions. I think, first of all, we need to take the survey with a pinch of salt because, first of all, it's published in a socialist newspaper which supports socialist policies. Secondly, YouGov, the surveyor, is generally a left-of-centre supporter. So take that with a pinch of salt. Secondly, it's perhaps no surprise that you get a result like that when you ask the questions in a certain way you want to ask them. If you ask the question, because let's understand what universal basic income is, for example. It's free money. If you ask people, do you want free money? What are they going to say? They're going to say, yes, I want free money. What people don't understand about policies such as UBI, such as rent control, is they are like palliatives. They reduce pain, but they don't help in the long term. In fact, they harm in the long term. UBI, that to me is the biggest danger to society on the planet.
What effect has the coronavirus pandemic, the COVID-19 crisis, had on political and economic views of British voters?
The fact that the majority of the population has been imprisoned in their own homes for weeks, and it will go on still for weeks as a minimum. Well, that has never happened before in our society. It's happened in dictatorship societies, in the Soviet era, in China, and so on, in Latin America, but it hasn't happened in Western free societies. This is a terrible situation, and it's based on, at best, highly questionable scientific evidence, because just like the environmental so-called scientific evidence, there's evidence on this side, there's evidence on that side. So it's highly questionable as to whether or not we needed to be locked down in the first place. We are going to talk in the future in terms of pre-COVID and post-COVID. This is the biggest change affecting society, at least since World War II.
When we look at Boris Johnson's government, it's only 6 months old, it's very, very young, and already it's had to overcome many political challenges. On the back of this survey, do you think it will have an effect and potentially change attitudes and the direction of Boris Johnson's government and policy in the future?
Well, not just in the future, but in the recent past. I've always called Boris Johnson a quasi-socialist. He may be somewhat conservative socially, but fiscally, with regards to tax and spending, he's very much left of centre. And my God, look how they have pumped hundreds of billions of pounds into the system, not counting, of course, the bailing out of the bankers yet again. And look how dependent we all are now on the state. Well, I say we all are. Many of us are on the state. They're going to raise taxes. They're going to alter their spending plans. And there's going to be much more spending. And the whole political situation has moved from the bright future of leaving the EU with a potential more free market approach to the dim and dull future of certainly leaving the EU is going to be extremely helpful to us socially and economically, but we will be brought down by the vastly more socialist policies that are already in place and will continue to be in place. It'll be very interesting if we have a new budget soon after lockdown, although it's not yet being discussed.